Vienna, ballrooms of fantasy, mansions of melody, where Vienna would sway, where Vienna would swell to the song of the high violins. Yesterday, when Vienna existed, to dance, 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 never before, nor ever again, have so many danced. In the glittering Odeon, or the gleaming Spell, in the Josefstadt, the Dianabad, the Zerganitz, the Apollo, and the many more. There on the wings of 1,000 strings, half a city would soar. century or so. But it began the day before yesterday, in the reign of His Majesty, Father of the Walls, King Johann the First of the House of Strauss.
Do you think you should see him now when you're this upset?
Why not? I've taken abuse from that man for 20 years. This time he's gone too far. Wait here. This is something strictly between your father and me.
Oh.
Oh, madam, your ticket, please.
Madam, your ticket, please.
I am Mrs. Strauss.
Of course, Mrs. Strauss. She seems livid. Find Hirsch.
Johann? I want to talk to you. Shh! Don't shush me. I want to speak to you now.
What? In the middle of a waltz?
If you want to avoid a scene, Johann, I suggest you talk to me now. Well? How could you?
Please.
How could you do such a thing?
Do what?
Name your bastard son Johann. Give that Trollops child the same name as our legitimate son.
You must try and see it from Emily's point of view.
Emily? Don't mention Emily to me. Hasn't that slut made a big enough fool out of you already? She and others before her.
You can't surround yourself by your children the way that you've done and expect to hold a husband. As far as you were concerned, I was merely a means of providing you with children.
But not a means of providing for them.
I send you all I can afford.
Good evening.
Well, just in time, Hirsch. Now, tell her how much I earn.
Well, since I've been handling Johann's affairs, he's done extremely well.
I mean, how little I earn.
But by the time he pays the orchestra, the copyists, the arrangers...
And Emily Trampush.
Look who's coming. Good evening, Miss Trampush.
Where's Mr. Strauss?
He's at a meeting.
I'll find him. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were busy.
Emily. This is Emily. My wife. Well, I must be getting back.
What about that matter we were discussing?
Well, I'll talk to my Emily in the morning.
Why not now? Very well.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Strauss and I have been discussing that infant of yours.
I see.
You'll have to change its name.
You're going to tell me what to call my own child?
Ladies, this is neither the time nor the place.
Now, you listen to me, Mrs. Strauss. I may not be Johann's wife because you got him first, but my son is just as much his child as yours. Well, then, why shouldn't he have his father's name? Well, say something.
Well, such as what?
For instance, the child has already been christened Johann.
So?
So?
Besides, everyone calls yours Shani.
You must come. Please forgive me.
Oh, I forgive you. And if that young whippersnapper in the white uniform's here again tonight, you'll be in trouble.
I'm sure Johann's sorry.
Sorry. He doesn't know the meaning of the word yet. I notice Johann never plays at Domaya's.
No, but Domar's frantic to get him. But Johann's too busy to take any more engagements. Why?
I was just wondering.
Angry?
Yes.
Polka! Quadrille!
We hadn't finished, Johann.
You better go ahead. I'll join you later at the Griesenbus.
We'll keep the champagne flowing.
Is this how the matter ends? Subject closed.
I'm afraid so.
I see.
Good night.
Well, now, perhaps it's your turn for a shock.
A shock?
Shani has been studying the violin, composition, harmony,
In defiance of my orders?
and he shows great promise.
I was beginning to worry. Ooh. Good evening, Father.
Is this true? That you've been taking music lessons? That you have deliberately disobeyed me?
I paid for them with my own money.
And by giving piano lessons.
Somebody has to take care of Mother. I hope to do it through my music.
Other fathers encourage their sons to follow their trade.
You have never given any of us one logical reason for this arbitrary attitude.
So, you haven't suffered the indignities a musician has to go through. Of being relegated to the private ball, to using the servants' entrance. Of eating with the servants. Of being paid like a servant. It's mortifying, humiliating, and very unpleasant.
Any more so than having coins thrown into your hat like a street beggar? You didn't mind that when you started playing in taverns. We all know the real reason.
The real reason?
You're eaten with jealousy. You're afraid that one of your sons may surpass you. And perhaps Shani has already surpassed you. We may soon find out. Good night.
You wouldn't dare force this boy to play in public. I forbid it. Do you hear me?
Here.
I got the impression Father was a bit annoyed, didn't you, Mother?
Not half as annoyed as he'll be when the name Johann Jr. appears on the billboards at Dommeyer's.
Dommeyer's?
How quickly can you get together an orchestra?
Now, wait a minute, Mother. I'm not ready yet. Besides, Dommeyer wouldn't hear of it.
I'm a very determined woman.
No. I'm sorry, Mrs. Strauss, but the answer is no.
But please, Mr. Dommeyer, as long as they're here, you could at least listen to them play.
I don't want to appear impolite, but I do have an appointment. And I'm late now.
But Shani is a much better rounded musician than his father.
Frankly, Mrs. Strauss, if your son is so talented, why isn't his father sponsoring him? Anyway, I'm fed up being harassed by doting mothers out peddling their prodigies. Good day.
How dare he talk to you that way? The pontifical jackass.
Good day, Mrs. Strauss.
Well, Dommeyer doesn't own the streets, does he?
Let's show him! Climb aboard, everybody!
Let's go. Hey! You're trying to kill everyone?
Mother, have you seen this Hansel? Look at the big Johann Strauss and the tiny little Junior hidden down here. It'd take a magnifying glass to see it.
I
Here,
know,
look.
it was my idea.
Your idea.
To be frank, it wasn't your playing alone that convinced Mr. Dommeyer. This is what gave you the chance.
At Father's expense.
Still, it got you the opportunity.
I don't care how badly Father's treated us. I can't do this to him. It's sneaking. Dishonest.
And in the contract. And the contract signed.
Look at this handbill. The mayor's passing it out like confetti. A giant Johann Strauss, the minuscule Junior.
My God, it's monstrous. I can't believe that a son of mine could stoop to such deception.
The ingrate.
You're right, Hirsch. After all I've done for my family.
Have you seen this? Great. We'll get our front page cartoon. Junior riding on father's coattails.
That's the idea. We'll balloon it into a feud.
Son against father. New generation against the old.
Emily! seen these? Just look.
You look at them. And here's a dozen more. Oh, I've never been so humiliated.
What?
In my entire life, I have never been so humiliated. Oh, do you know what people are saying? Well, I'll tell you what people are saying. They're complimenting you on our little Johann, telling me how wonderful it is to have a child so precocious. And at his age, he can have his own orchestra at Domire's. And then they laugh, right in my face, they laugh. It's your wife. She did this, just to get back at me.
Ah, shut up.
Why isn't the junior up here where it belongs?
And in big letters, too.
It's time our younger generation got the recognition it deserves.
He's got the best orchestra, and you know it.
Disgraceful!
Look. My God.
Scoundrel of a Dunmeyer, look what he's up to. If the boy goes through with this brazen deception, it'll embarrass all of us.
It'll embarrass all of us.
All of us? What about me?
I leave this prescription. It should ease the tension, give him some sleep.
Dr. Richter, Mr. Haslinger. Mr. Haslinger is Johann's publisher.
How do you do?
How do you do? Good day.
Exactly. What's wrong with Johann?
If you want my opinion, Johann is sick with jealousy.
Over his son's debut?
Well, how are we?
Oh, stop being so jolly.
What can we do to relieve your mind?
I'll tell Shawnee to stop making a fool of himself and me.
Let's pray he wakes up in time.
Well, if he doesn't, I hope I don't live to hear about it. Oh, the very thought nauseates me. Nauseates? Oh, the
big Lord. Quick now. Quick.
Isn't this dress beautiful? How do you like it? I wore it home. It fitted so well. Do you think the dress looks better with this dress? Maybe the cameo sets it off better. Let's begin.
Rubato! Rubato. You have the light touch of elephants marching through a peat bog. What's a waltz without rubato? Listen.
All right, follow me.
Accelerando.
Look at that.
I was expecting this sort of thing. But Shawnee will survive it.
Accents.
Damn it all. If I had any sense, I'd call the whole thing off.
Too late now.
People even stop me on the street. They call me a cheat, a charlatan.
I'll make you all some coffee.
And listen to this. The young whippersnapper is attempting to use a ragtag group of musicians who have been playing at small taverns.
The mayor won't listen to reason.
Well, think of something.
Well, there's one thing we could do, but I don't know if you'd want to go that far with your own son.
Go on.
Well, we could salt in some of our own friends to boo and whistle, but I don't by any means say you should do it to the boy.
Why not?
Why not?
Well, how do you think I feel? My own son behaving like this, treating on my name, basking in my light. It's that mother of his who's put him up to it. Yes, to disgrace and humiliate me.
I never saw anything like this.
Neither have I. Oh.
Our debut is trying enough with only a few listeners, but have you looked at that mob outside? It's terrifying. No, not here. Please, no, the baton. You both know there isn't a person out there who isn't going to compare me with Father, and he is their king. How is that?
Mr. Threps, may I have your signature?
Excuse me, darling.
I heard you in the marriage of Figaro. You were wonderful.
Thank you.
Welcome, Maron Tedesco. This way, please. Oh, these are reserved. I'm sorry, you'll have to go. Quick, open the windows. Herd the people into the gardens. Let the overflow hear it from out there. What a night! Everybody's here, even Baron Tedesco. Well, it's time. Good luck, my boy.
If I fail, it'll at least be a spectacular failure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to announce Johann Strauss, Jr.
Never seen an audience so restless. That'll make our job easier.
Why do you suppose he picked this overture?
I guess because it's so popular.
Oh, yes, but Vienna's used to hearing it in the opera house with a full orchestra, not a mere 15 men.
Boy's scared to death. I hate to do this to him. Well, I guess we have to.
Excuse me, Mr. Strauss. You don't know me. I'm Yeti Trevs.
Of course I recognize you.
There were two horrible men who started this. Who are they?
Friends of my father, Hirsch and Haslinger.
Oh, no. You mean your father did this?
Apparently.
You have a lot of talent, Mr. Strauss. Don't let anyone defeat you.
I have no intention of it.
It's a disaster. All I can do now is go out there and apologize.
Don't you dare take another step.
Get back to your chair. All of you, sit down.
I am now going to play one of my own compositions, the Acceleration Waltz.
His guts. So do I. But I didn't think anyone would have the nerve to walk back on that stage.
of his own compositions in a row.
And they made him repeat the first one 4 times and the next 5. We left during the last number, but they'd already demanded 16 repeat playings. Nothing like this has ever happened in the history of Vienna.
I think I'll take a little stroll. Excuse me.
Oh, I'll go with you.
Father, I will now play, no, not one of his waltzes, because no one can play his waltzes the way he does, but his most famous composition, the Radetzky March.
How's father? Scarlet fever is always serious, particularly in adults.
It's a highly contagious disease. He caught it from one of the children.
Hello, Father.
Down goes the sun, dim grows the light, long day is over, now falls the night. Stars one by one now peer from above, and the truths that are hard in the harsh light of day fade away in the soft light of love. I leave my toil, smile as I do, knowing that nightfall starts life brings me to you.
It is with deep sadness in my heart that I accept the honor of conducting my father's orchestra.
The king is dead, long live the king. In ballrooms and dance halls he reigned, while traveling the land up and down, lightly tossing off waltzes and picking up plaudits from here to St. Petersburg town. And everywhere there were the ladies, young artists bound from affair to affair, and this one did more than his share, lightly dashing off waltzes and dabbling in damsels from here to St. Petersburg town.
Girl of his heart, love of his life, love never to die, until a new love took his eye.
Warm with your hand to hold,
warm as the wind is cold,
warm with your cheek against my cheek, if I may be so bold.
warm in a world of snow,
Warmed by the inner glow, formed by the fire of my desire, to press my lips upon your lips, and in that way keep this winter's day warm.
jingling-a-ling, jingling-along, jingling-a-lovely day.
Jingling-a-ling, jingling-along, jingling-a-lively sleigh.
Jingling-a-ling, jingling-along, jingling a lot of snow.
Jingling-a-ling, jingling, I love you so.
Christmas. May the morning bring you peace. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. May your peacefulness increase. 'Tis a season with a reason for the world to march in joy to a manger. There's a marvel at the birth of the anthem, a merry little boy with a halo hanging on him, and the whole universe will adore him, singing peace on earth and to men goodwill. Yes, to men goodwill, and again goodwill. Peace on earth, may it be until.
Going to the festival?
Isn't everyone?
Good, we'll have fun. What's your name?
Louise.
Mine's Johann. Meet Louise, everybody. My mother, my brother Joseph and his wife Caroline, and my sister Teresa. Sit. The family's down here to celebrate their anniversary.
How wonderful.
Here. To the two of you.
10 wonderful years.
What a lovely anniversary present, saying that.
It's Albert!
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 Serves you right, Sean. When are you going to settle down and get married?
Oh, there's time.
But you're nearly 37 now. Oh, sure. A new conquest every few months is all very exciting. But where is it getting you?
Well, I'll admit, what you and Caroline have is something very special.
Nothing compares with it. Someone to share your life, your joys, your sorrows.
I'm worried about you, Shawnee.
Oh.
You don't seem to take anything seriously. Neither your music, nor your women, nor anything.
Where are you going, Strauss? To eat? Not this time. You are invited to join us for supper.
It's been quite a few years, Mr. Strauss. That was a trying night for you.
Made easier by your encouragement. It was most gracious of you.
Miss Treft is quite in love with your playing, Mr. Strauss.
Oh? May I say in return that I'm in love with your voice, Miss Treft? I've heard you sing many times.
Well, I'm afraid my days of singing professionally are over.
What a sad loss for Vienna.
Why, you're very kind, Mr. Strauss. Perhaps our guests would enjoy dancing. Don't you think so, my darling?
To be sure, my dear. If Mr. Strauss would be so kind to...
Surely, Moritz, if Mr. Strauss has been asked to dine with us, the invitation should include dancing with us.
By all means.
You will join us, Mr. Strauss.
Well, I'd be delighted. Excuse me, I'll just make some arrangements with my orchestra. May I have the pleasure of the first dance?
Why, thank you, Mr. Strauss. But my first dance is always reserved for Moritz.
Naturally.
Just a minute, Strauss. It's all right, Yeti. You go ahead with Mr. Strauss.
You're sure you don't mind, darling?
Not at all.
One of women's oldest tricks. You're sure you don't mind, darling?
I know. As if I could say in front of my guests, yes, Yeti dear, I do mind very much.
Still, you may regret not having said it. You know Mr. Strauss's reputation with the women. How their hearts flutter whenever he plays.
As much as a man may love a woman, there is not much satisfaction in having her dance with him out of a sense of duty.
Last night I was with the most marvelous woman. She's absolutely wonderful. Oh. She believes in me and she understands my music.
Just who are you talking about?
A beautiful, brilliant, talented, scintillating person.
What is her name?
Yeti Treft.
The mistress of Baron Tedesco?
The woman who has been scandalizing Vienna?
The woman who was so charming to me that first night at Dohmeyer's. Now I'm treated as a guest, not as a servant. I joined in the dancing. She accepted me as her partner.
And a woman who is a good 10 years older than you. You're not thinking of seeing her again.
Tomorrow,
Where?
at the Offenbach reception, I invited Yeti and the Baron. They accepted. In fact, Yeti's even agreed to sing. Well, that's funny. Didn't I already get my sausages?
6.
My beloved, I address you in sorrow. My pen has been dipped in my tears, for I write that tonight or tomorrow my path away from yours sharply veers. Another's attraction invites me, though it can't be what yours, love, once was. Though his touch in no way so excites me, there is something about him that does.
That's charming. What is it?
It's from Offenbach's La Pericole for his reception.
Ah, the... Yeah. I am afraid you had to sing all your regrets. An important business matter has come up. We had to leave immediately for London.
Today?
Yes. And we don't have too much time. You have to start packing.
But surely you can postpone the trip for 2 more days.
I'm afraid not, darling. We'll just start packing with dress things. We'll be gone for 2 weeks at least.
But, darling, what about tomorrow night? We accepted Johann's invitation, and I did promise to sing.
I realize that, but this is a business emergency. He'll understand. We'll have to cancel all of our social engagements, of course. Look, darling, I know how you feel about this affair, but still, the trip is completely unavoidable.
I understand.
We should leave for the depot at 3:30. That will give you time to pack and get notes off to everyone. I'm sorry.
But, Moritz, I just can't let Johann down this way. You wouldn't want me to go back on my word, would you?
Yeti. Darling Yeti. In the last 8 years, you and I have never been separated. Not for a single night. Is this affair for Offenbach that important to you?
Moritz, do you think it would be terribly selfish of me if I remained here for just 2 more days?
No. I suppose not.
But it's only 2 days. Then I can join you.
Is that a promise? Oh, no, Yeti, I'm sorry. I retract that question. Let me put it another way. I very much hope you do decide to join me.
Thank you, my sweetheart, for being so understanding.
Let this letter relate how my new love brings me cakes, caviar, and high teas, while I never from indolent you love had the minimum bread, soup, and cheese. Though a woman's a creature who's fraught love with emotion and dreams and mood, may this letter provide food for thought. Love, you must also give thought to her food.
You're very kind, Mr. Offenbach.
I admire your versatility, Offenbach. You write waltzes, invent ingenious dances like the can-can, and even compose witty, amusing operettas. How do you do it?
Have you ever thought about composing an operetta yourself? Excuse me.
Frankly, any of your waltzes are better than this one. You could also excel Offenbach in his own field if you would just try an operetta.
Suppose we talk about it over a little champagne?
Your melodies are so rich, they'd make delightful songs. I'm a singer, I know.
And I know my limitations. Look, I'm just a ballroom fiddler with a bag of tricks that please the dancers.
A bag of tricks inherited from your father. A rigid form that narrows your horizon. You should be composing for the concert hall, not the dance hall.
I'm very grateful to you for coming. It meant a lot to me.
Why, thank you, Johann.
When am I going to see you again?
Well, you know I'm leaving for London tomorrow.
Must you go? Oh, I'm sorry. Of course you have to join the Baron. But I'll miss you.
Will you do me a favor, Johann?
Yes?
Write a song.
Oh, a song? I don't know.
Please.
Maybe if you'd sing it?
That would depend on the circumstances.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night.
How about before the Emperor?
Before the Emperor, what do you mean?
I'm conducting a festival at Bad Ischl. It's in his honor.
Well, maybe if I'm back in time.
It's this Sunday.
That's quite out of the question.
You, as a singer, you could help me select the melody, the one you like best. It would mean so much to me. So very much.
I know the one. You played it here, that first night.
I need you, Yeti.
Please. Just a minute.
Yes, madam?
Please, put the bags down.
But, madam, if you want to catch the 4 o'clock
Hilda,
train...
Hilda, don't pester me. There's still time. I'll call you when I'm ready. Oh, Hilda, there's been a change in plans. I'm not going to London after all.
Shall I unpack, madam?
No, but I am leaving. My mother is ill, and I'm going to visit her. Wait, Hilda. I want you to take this letter to the post immediately.
Your Imperial Majesty, Miss Henrietta Treffs.
Music is love. Music is love. Music is love. And love is the music that you bring to me. Music that you bring to me each day. Love is music, music is love. Lovers' hearts beat sweetly in tune. I look at you, you look at me. All things are suddenly in harmony. Love is music sung by the song. Lovers' spots are tender refrains. I'm in your arms, you're in my arms. Heavenly orchestras play. Music is love, and love is the music that you bring to me each day.
I've played several times before the Emperor, but today
You weren't worried.
Very worried.
Why?
That they'd expect us to stay for the tea party.
What an awful thought.
You were wonderful.
Thanks to you. Oh, look. It's a wedding party. Let's go. Do you think we could improve on the music?
We can certainly try. And we know just the piece to liven things up.
Hey, may I borrow your fiddle?
You play?
A bit.
All right.
Thank you.
Play a little louder, play a little faster, liven up the music, Mr. Music Master. Just a little faster, just a little louder, rattle out the rhythm in your razzle-dazzle way. Play a little louder, play a little faster, till you have the dancers heading for disaster. Just a little faster, just a little louder, keep the party going with a dear old tirolay. Force that horsehair stronger on the string, find the fingering, make the fiddle sing, push the tempo even though it's hard, never, 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 never one retard.
Try those ivories absolutely mad, give them even more than you knew you had. Beat that bass drum with the bigger bash, roll along the roll,
Crash a louder crash,
bing a little,
bang a little,
cling a little,
cling a little, play louder, play faster,
corrugate the keyboard, or we will be bored.
Modulate the fiddle till the string goes pop. And when you can't play louder, can't play faster, stop, stop.
My bags are packed. I'm taking only a few necessities. I've come to say goodbye, Moritz. I'm leaving you.
Today? I mean now?
There's no point in prolonging this.
I suppose not. Yeti. Yeti. Please don't go. Please don't leave me.
Moritz, I'm in love with Shani.
You're sure it's really love?
I'm really in love with him, Moritz.
That sounds quite final.
Very final. We're being married tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I'm sorry, Ed. I'm sorry. It's all happened so fast, so incredibly fast. It's hard for me to grasp that everything between us has ended.
Oh, darling. Darling. It tears me apart seeing you hurt like this. But you don't really need me. You don't need anyone. Shani does.
Still, Yeti, have you thought this thing through? No, that was a stupid question. A woman in love knows only that she is in love. Nothing else matters for the moment.
For the moment?
Yes. What about next year? Or the year after that? You are nearly 10 years older than Shani.
I know. I know.
A woman can grow old very quickly. Aging can happen almost overnight. I don't want to seem unkind, darling, but Shani is a dashing personality. Women threw themselves at him, you know that. So when the first wrinkles start coming, what then?
You find younger women.
And are you willing to face that?
I can't help myself.
And Shani's mother, considering our relationship, how's she taken this?
Very badly. Anna vows she won't even attend the wedding.
Are you willing to face that too?
I must go.
What about Carl?
I don't dare tell Shani.
I can well understand that.
I can only pray that Carl stays in Paris.
Of course. I see that you are well provided for. You can have anything you want.
No, Moritz. You're a sweet, wonderful person. And that was a most generous offer. But I'm leaving you as I came. All I want from you. And I beg you for it. Is your forgiveness.
With you gone, life will lose its special flavor. With you gone, what will fill the aching void? No one there to wake to make my morning meaningful, nor to share the warmth, the words, the wine, the jokes we so enjoyed. With you here, we had something rare together. Then a word and a door, and the world turned commonplace. In a life I'd come to center more and more upon your face. How will I carry on with you gone? With you gone, with you gone.
Sir?
Strauss will take it all for granted. That's the tragedy of it. He'll never realize how rare it is for a man to find a woman who could love so deeply, could sacrifice so much.
About Madame's clothes, sir. What will I do with them?
Please, Hilda, that's all for today.
With you here, we were two so right together. In our wants, in our ways, we were clearly of a kind. You're the perfect life's companion for my heart and for my mind. How will I carry on with you
Well, Mother meant it. She won't be here. It's about time.
Yet he's very upset. I know how I would have felt if your mother hadn't come to our wedding.
Yes. Well, it's quite obvious now. He's not coming. It's time.
She's still not here?
Mother's heart is filled with such bitterness.
Well, can't we wait just a little longer?
I'm afraid it's no use. May I come in? I was hoping that I wouldn't find you at home. That you had already left for your son's wedding.
And why should a personal matter between Johann and myself concern you, Baron Tedesco?
Because it also concerns Yeti Tets, a woman I still love very deeply. Any breach between the two of you could affect her happiness and their marriage.
You indulged this woman with every luxury. And now she even has Johann. Why should she care whether I go to the wedding or not? It means nothing to her.
She cares very much because she's in love with Johann.
To her, he's just a new play toy, a whim, a passing fancy, a new luxury of the moment.
How little you know Yeti, Mrs. Strauss. She left all these luxuries you're talking about behind her.
She has nothing?
Well, nothing more than when she came to me. Good day, Mrs. Strauss.
Thank you.
Good luck. Yes, yes. Pretty sister.
Teresa.
Go ahead.
So happy.
Thank you. Very happy. Thanks.
can you forgive a very foolish woman?
Then came the great years. His fame, his name, his stature grew. No more the ballrooms and the grand cafes of early days. Now in hallowed halls where masters dwell, he plays. And she is ever near him as the masterworks pour forth. And she is in the music born of their happiness. She never tires of listening, for listening she lives again. 5 waltz embroidered years of love.
Happy?
What a wonderful day this has been. Just you and I by ourselves.
I've enjoyed it too.
You know how I'd be lost without you.
Shawnee, you mean it. You really do mean it.
Shawnee.
La-dum, dum, dum, la-dee-dee-dum. La-dum, dum, dum, la-dee-dee-dum. La-da-dum, dum, dum, la-da-dum, dum, dum, la-da-dum. dum dee la da dum.
Yeti? Yeti! Yeti!
I'll be right there, darling.
I've got a present for you. Better hurry up.
Just a minute.
Oh, an anniversary present.
Well, it's very nice. And thoughtful of you, darling. And I certainly have been after you to have your portrait painted. Who was the artist? Oh, a woman, Greta Holman.
An up-and-coming artist, highly thought of.
Young. Pretty?
So-so. What were you up to today?
Oh, Johann Herbeck dropped by.
I'm still not interested.
Too bad, Shawnee. His choral group is in desperate need of new material.
Look, Yeti, I wrote the one song for Bala Ishel, but that's it. I'm king in my field, and that's where I'm staying.
All right, darling. But anyway, I'd like to help him. Mr. Herbeck and I went through your father's music and found this one, the benefit waltz.
Don't remember it.
We thought it might work out well with lyrics.
La 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 la.
Hold it. Try that sustained note a major third higher. Excuse me, let me try it. Then it should go something like this.
That's how it began. Father's modest melody lighted the fire that created the waltz that ignited the world. But not quite yet. Vienna, be gay.
God.
A glimmer of light.
It's night.
Carnivals come. Oh, be not so glum.
We're not.
This is awful.
I know.
Terrible.
You promised me that Dietrich would write the lyrics. Why didn't he?
Because Shawnee insisted it should be done by a man named Weil. I never heard of him before.
Well, I'm very upset. If this fails, I may never get Shawnee to write for The Voice again.
Hello, darling. How's the rehearsal going? Hello, everybody. Perfect.
Oh, meet a friend of mine, Joseph Weil, and his talented daughter, Lily. Yeti, Lily is a promising singer.
Dearest, may I see you for a moment alone?
Of course.
Excuse me? Look, Johann,
Yes.
the last thing I would want to do would be to hurt your friend's feelings. But,
But what?
well, frankly, his lyrics ruin your music. I'm sorry to have to say this, but it's true.
Oh, in whose opinion?
In everyone's. A glimmer of light, with us it's night, carnivals come, ho, ho, ha, ha.
You can ridicule anything with sarcasm.
But don't you see the lyrics are sarcastic? They're inflammatory, against the monarchy.
Oh.
Weil has used your beautiful waltz as a political message.
Oh, Yeti, please.
Oh, darling, darling. You're a genius when it comes to writing music, but still naive about lyrics.
Well, it's too late to do anything about it.
No, it isn't. Please, Shawnee. Just listen to those words again and listen with an open mind.
Now, you wait a minute.
No, there's time to get Dietrich.
Even if I were to agree about the lyrics, I still couldn't do a thing like that to Weil.
Is it Mr. Weil you're concerned with, or Mr. Weil's daughter?
Leave her out of this. Lily's a sweet girl.
And young enough. She seemed quite pleasant.
She had nothing to do with it.
I wonder.
Darling, if that's all.
Shawnee,
Do you love me?
What's that got to do with it?
Everything. If you love me, if you really love me, this once, do as I ask.
I'm sorry, Eddie. I couldn't do that to you.
And so I can blame the Blue Danube for the first serious rift between Shawnee and myself. On top of this, the performance was a disaster. And I'm afraid he'll never write another song.
You shouldn't take this one failure so to heart.
Still, as Shawnee said, the devil take the waltz. He's only sorry about the finish. He had high hopes for that.
He'll soon forget about last night. His career will survive.
Forget last night. You can both dry your tears. What do you think?
I've just been invited to play at the International Exposition. Thursday, we're leaving for Paris.
Paris?
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, of course. But how can you, Shawnee? You have so many commitments here.
Oh, Joseph will fill in for me while I'm gone.
Well, but Thursday's only 2 days off. I don't think I can leave that quickly. There's so much to arrange.
You've managed before on short notice. You'll do it again.
Johann and I have been writing a polka together.
Yes, see what you think of it.
Yeti, what's wrong?
Wrong? There's nothing wrong.
You don't want Shawnee to go to Paris. Why?
Well, for example, he'd be competing with Offenbach, the toast of Paris.
You know full well that Shawnee's better than Offenbach. You've always said so yourself. Besides, appearing at the Paris Exposition could be a stepping stone to the Boston Centennial. Have you considered that?
Yes, I have.
From what I hear, the Boston concert will be the biggest musical event of all time. Yeti, there is something else. What is it? Come, sit down. You can trust me.
Is becoming interested in younger women. It's killing me. Anna, I don't want to lose Shawnee. I desperately don't want to lose him. It wouldn't take much now to destroy our marriage. That's why I so fear going to Paris.
I think you'd better tell me everything.
There's a man in Paris. He would stop at nothing to get money, including blackmail.
Who is this man?
His name is Carl.
Carl? Carl who?
Carl Treffs.
Your brother? But a relative, of course. Yeti, what are you holding back?
He's my son.
But your maiden name is Treffs. I see.
Czechoslovakia, 50 years. Czechoslovakia.
I'm there.
Here's my address.
I'll be there at noon.
I'm not worried. I can always go to your hotel if it slips your mind.
Look at this. Your French engineers are so easy.
Get it! Come here. Look at this ingenious little thing.
Please don't be discouraged by the poor attendance. It's just that you're still not too well known here.
I understand.
And there's so much competing with you. Everyone is using the occasion to give private balls.
Yes?
There are 2 or 3 some night. Offenbach conducting at the pavilion.
Please excuse me. But, dear, shouldn't you be leaving for the rehearsal?
There's time.
Excuse me, I must go now.
Goodbye.
I beg your pardon. Listen to this. I've got something to tell both of you. Johann has been invited to play at the Austrian embassy at their grand ball.
That's great news. Really great.
It's just what you need to get known in Paris.
Isn't that marvelous, Yeti?
Oh, it's very exciting.
And the ambassador's wife wants you and Yeti to join her for lunch.
Today?
Yes, I know it's short notice, but Princess Metternich wants to go over the program well in advance.
Oh, Shani, what about your rehearsal?
Are you serious? Darling, get ready.
But I can't change it. Get my hair fixed to be presentable for a luncheon at the embassy this quickly. It's just impossible. Besides, I have a fierce headache.
Oh? You didn't mention it earlier.
Well, it's become worse. If I feel better, darling, I'll join you later. Here's your music. Hadn't you better leave now so that you can call off your rehearsal?
Well, I guess you're right. We should be leaving. Well, I hope your headache is better. Promise me you'll rest till I get back, will you? In all this haste, it just occurred to me, I have the music here, but who's going to play it?
The princess herself plays piano.
Oh, the music was written more for the violin. Wait here, I'll quickly get my fiddle.
All right.
Just getting my violin. Darling?
I've been thinking, what a fortunate coincidence that you happen to come to Paris at this time.
May I compliment you on your playing, Princess Pauline?
Thank you. I wish I could return the compliment, but it would be as presumptuous as an amateur artist telling Titian he painted well.
Oh, you're very kind.
Well, I'm a little concerned. All the waltzes we have played so far, are in an allegro tempo.
Yes, why?
Well, although the Parisians like their quadrilles even faster than we are used to them in Vienna, they prefer a slower waltz.
Oh.
What about this one? It's marked moderato.
Oh, no, not that piece. Anyway, it was written for a choral group.
Please.
It should never have been included. It got in by mistake.
Still, the tempo is right for the Parisians. Could we start here?
So you see, either I get their money or I face prison.
I no longer have any way of raising such an amount. 100,000 gulden. It's impossible. I simply must go.
Oh, I think you'll find a way. Or perhaps you prefer that I speak to Strauss about it.
I'll send you what I can for now.
How's your headache, darling?
Better.
Did you have a nice rest?
Yes, I did as you asked. Is anything wrong?
I don't know. Is there?
Exactly what's on your mind, Shawnee?
You found plenty of excuses for not going with me today, in spite of the importance of the lunch. Still, you managed to go someplace else. Where? And why?
Someplace else.
I came back for my violin. You weren't here.
I felt like some fresh air. I went for a walk.
A walk? To cure a splitting headache?
Certainly refused to be cross-examined this way.
I don't wonder.
You're trying to accuse me of something?
Yes. Of lying to me. You could have gotten ready in time if you'd wanted to. And you didn't have a headache.
And just why did I pass up that invitation? What woman wouldn't jump at the chance to lunch at the embassy with Princess Metternich?
Unless she had something more important in mind.
Oh. Are you accusing me of having some secret lover? Is that the idea? Because if that's what you're doing, I'm leaving right now. Well?
I didn't say that.
You implied it.
All right. But what about the Blue Danube? How dare you slip it in with the other music? Now I'm stuck with a damn tune.
The press, shout out, success, oh yes, no doubt. The waltz is a success, no doubt about its epical success. It was played and played played and sung in every town. River of blue, fleuve d'azur, fiume azzurro, and many other towns. Over sea, over land, the supply behind the demand. 100 more, 10,000 more, 10 million more. Being printed by the press, no pause, no rest. The printing press, it press to keep abreast. It prints and never, never more. Binding up
But I understand they have orders for nearly 1 million copies. The sales have been phenomenal. What's happened to the money?
It's Mrs. Strauss, sir. I'm afraid she's made some rather heavy drafts.
How heavy?
Over 50,000 gulden.
50,000?
I'm afraid so, Mr. Havermeyer.
Why should I gamble on a new field?
It wouldn't be a gamble, not if you wrote the music. Don't you see that, darling? After all, Die Fledermaus was a success in Paris as a play. Max couldn't have provided you with better librettists than Hoffman and Genet. It's a perfect combination.
Well, I don't know.
Here, let me pick a page at random. See what you can do with it. Come, my dear, don't be stubborn. You're acting like a diffident little boy.
How do you do, Mr. Hafmeyer?
I want to see Mr. Strauss. Alone, please.
Pardon me, ma'am.
Yes.
But there's a gentleman here to see Mr. Strauss.
Who?
Mr. Hafmeyer.
Send him in.
Mr. Hafmeyer insists on seeing you alone, sir.
Alone? How odd. Well, excuse me, dear. Hello, Havermeyer. What's this all about?
I'll come right to the point, Mr. Strauss.
Oh, dear God, what will I do?
You've gone through 50,000 gulden in barely 3 months. How is that possible?
That much? Well, whatever the amount, it was spent for a good reason.
Good reason. What excuse could there possibly be for squandering that kind of money?
To begin with, whenever you move into a new home, there are always heavy expenses. You know that.
We're talking about 50,000 gulden.
You don't have to shout. I've had to buy a lot of new clothes. I must dress well, especially now that we're being invited to so many important functions. You want a wife you can be proud of, don't you?
Yes. All right, then. Where are the bills for these fabulous dresses? Show them to me.
I don't know. I don't know. You're getting me confused. Suppose they're around someplace.
Around someplace. Exactly where did that money go?
Please, Johnny, please. I can't answer right off.
I demand to know.
Demand to know.
You heard me.
Shawnee, don't you ever speak to me in that tone.
Until I get an answer, I'll speak to you in any way I choose.
Shawnee, wait, please. Listen to me.
Say oui, say yeah, say yes to me, to love tonight. A land which counts for less, just as long as the meaning's right. It's you, it's tu, c'est toi.
say yes to me, to love tonight. The language counts for less, just as long as the meaning's right. It's you, it's tout, c'est toi. I'm burning to possess.
Ceci, c'est me, c'est so long as you say yes.
Yes.
Oh, Alice. We won't wait dinner any longer. You can clear the table.
But what about you, ma'am?
I'm not hungry.
Good evening, Sonny. Hello, Max. Before you join your friends in there, I'd appreciate a word with you.
Miss Lily Weil, Max Steiner, the director of the theater on the Wien.
I was at your house today to see if you'd gone over the libretto.
Yes?
Yeti agrees with me. You are the one man to write the music, and we've got the one woman to sing it.
Who?
I'll let Yeti tell you herself.
It was her idea.
Come on, Sonny! Now, I want you to go home and start on that score.
All right, Max. I'll think about it.
One drink, and slowly I relaxed. My brain was overtaxed. That little nip was just the lift I needed. 2 drinks, and I was slightly gay. I've had a dismal day, and I deserved a bit of recreation.
3 drinks, and there she was, so prim and slender.
4 drinks, I knew I'd soon unbend her.
5 drinks, and she was in my power like a helpless flower. I could wrap around my little finger.
6 drinks, and there we were in bed. But we were wed, she said, and she was right. 1 drink is what I shouldn't have had last night. 1 drink, and slowly I relaxed. My brain was overtaxed. That little lift was just the lift I needed. 2 drinks, and I was slightly gay. I had a dismal day, and I deserved a bit of recreation. 3 drinks, and there she was, so prim and slender. 4 drinks, I knew I'd soon unbend her.
5 drinks, and she was in my power like a helpless flower. I could wrap around my little fingers.
6 drinks, and there we were in bed. But we were wed, she said, and she was right. 1 drink is what I shouldn't have had last night.
young.
Mm.
Pretty.
Mm.
Do I have a good figure?
Mm.
You find me exciting,
Yeah.
ravishing,
No.
desirable.
All those things.
Well, you don't show it.
Hmm?
I'm beginning to wonder if you're a man at all. Maybe you're already too old for a young girl like me.
Why this outburst?
Who do you think sent that man searching for you like you were her stray pet?
Well,
Here sits the king of the waltz, a man who writes red-blooded music for red-blooded people to dance to. And now he's going to compose lacy-panty operettas for some dreary coloratura to sing. And guess who's going to be that coloratura? Steiner was evasive on that point, wasn't he? Yet he wanted to tell you herself as a surprise. These opera stars never give up, do they? No matter how passé.
Darling,
good evening.
Max was here today and I sang.
I know.
Good. He found you.
Yes?
How would you like some eggs?
All right.
Well, what happened? What did you tell Max?
Max said you had an idea for a leading lady?
Yes, I was so excited I wanted to tell you myself.
Well?
There's only one person to play that role.
Exactly who do you have in mind?
Mary Geistinger. She's dying to do the part. Isn't that exciting?
I thought you might want to play the part yourself.
Surely, darling, you don't think I try to further my own career at my husband's expense? Just the way you like, though.
Thank you.
My first job is to be a good wife. My second, to help build your career, not mine.
Well, these eggs are... great, great. You look unusually lovely tonight.
Thank you very much. Now, don't keep me in suspense. Are you going to do the score?
Hmm? Hmm.
I think I'll have some eggs, too.
And in this very house, the masterpiece was born. That most incredible gem, that sparkling flood of melodies, that brilliant burst of laughter and champagne. In 43 days, locked in this house, Johann Strauss composed Die Fledermaus.
Yeti, it's no use. I don't know anything about writing for the voice, much less the stage.
Oh, dear. Maybe from your standpoint, it's a struggle composing the score. But from mine, it's an even bigger struggle convincing you it's good. Now listen to it.
Who are you? Who are you, stranger, with searching eyes? Who are you? Whom are you hoping to hypnotize? Is it I, lonely I, by some enchanted chance? Should it be, if it's so, then it's love, and we'll go somewhere apart and afar, where I will live life through, learning who you are. Oh, darling, it's wonderful.
There.
To its success.
Excuse me, but I've been drinking stars, bottling them in lovely jars, calling them champagne.
Champagne is a fermentation, inducing an odd sensation.
Hello there.
Yeti! Yeti, come over here, please.
Just a minute. Dare return to Vienna. You know what would happen if the authorities discovered you here.
If I can't raise that additional 50,000 gulden immediately, the consequences will be the same.
It's out of the question.
Would you rather I go to prison?
Of course not.
The scandal would hardly help your relations with Strauss.
If you'd earn an honest living like everybody else, you wouldn't be forever in trouble.
Yeti! We're all waiting.
I'll be right there. I can't give you anything more. It's impossible.
Very well.
I have no way of getting it.
Then maybe I have. Good night.
Carl? Carl! Oh, Moritz.
You should notify the police. You ruin your life.
It would only make matters worse.
Yeti, will you please come? These gentlemen just want one photograph.
Let me help you.
No. You're very kind. But no.
Yeti. Fine. There. Yeah. Oh, you...
Take this draft to the bank, get the money, and bring it to Mrs. Johann Strauss with this note.
I'd like to see Mr. Strauss.
He's in a meeting with Mr. Steiner.
I'll wait.
What's the name, sir?
Karl Treffs.
Yeti! I just had a visitor.
Who?
A common thief. An embezzler.
Who?
Your son. Your illegitimate son. So you've been using our money to keep that scoundrel from going to prison.
After all, he is my son. I could hardly ask you for such an amount.
Well, he can fry in hell before he gets anything more from me. And he had the impudence to demand another 50,000 gulden.
It brings back sordid memories of my own father and Emily and their 5 bastard children.
Pardon me, ma'am, but there's a gentleman here to see you.
Madam, from Baron Tedesco.
Thank you.
Why did you lock that drawer?
Out of force of habit, I guess.
I never noticed it locked before.
There's nothing important in there.
Give me that key.
Do you think I'm hiding a letter from a secret lover? Are we back to those suspicions again?
I said give me that key.
Here.
Where did you get that money? Baron Tedesco. You harlot.
Wait for me, would you? What's happened?
I'm leaving Shawnee. To the depot.
Now, wait a minute, Yeti.
Will you help me?
Please, Yeti, will you listen to reason?
My mind is made up.
Will you listen to me? What was all this money doing on the floor? Where's it come from?
Baron Tedesco. They have a rather nasty name for husbands in my position.
You're out of your mind. I don't believe it. Let me read you this. I realize you said no when I offered to pay off Carl. Please reconsider. The 50,000 gulden has no importance to me. Your happiness with Shani does. Moritz. Rome.
Why all these lies? Why didn't Yeti tell me about her son?
You idiot. Yet he knew her marriage was held together by a thread. It's hopeless enough for a woman her age to have to fend off younger women without having an illegitimate thieving son come between you. Yes, she told Mother about him. And remember, she gave up living in a palace, a fortune to marry you. What's 50,000 gulden by comparison? What sacrifice would you have made for her? And what about Lily? Everybody knows about Lily, including Yeti. How do you think that makes her feel? Now you've lost her. She's left you. You're a blind, stubborn, opinionated jackass. And it's time someone knocked some sense into you. And that someone's me. And you might just make it to the station in time.
Well, I guess I had it coming. But it was a bit sassy of a younger brother.
I'd like a ticket on the first train to leave, please.
Where to?
Wherever it's going.
To the station, quick! Drive like it's a chariot at the forum, and there's 5 gulden in it for you. 5 gulden? Yes, go! Hey, look out! Faster! Faster! Look out! What's out there? forgive me. My brother called me stubborn, obstinate, a jackass, a fool. Oh, whatever you'd like to add to that, I deserve. Don't leave me, Eddie. I love you.
"100 added maestri, 1,000 musicians, 20,000 voices, and 100,000 people.